So just log in.
Yeah.
there.
Let me get this all set up, mate.
Should
Okay.
start to come. So welcome, if anybody is here yet, we're just getting everything set up. I always forget, like I've done this, I don't know, maybe 20 or so times, and every time forget how to do this.
This is my first time, so okay, cool.
I'll mute
Yeah. Just
one. Welcome, if anyone's here, just getting set up. One moment. Why can't I see it?
okey-dokey, that is there.
Okay, live. Let's talk YouTube BF. What the fuck is that? What have I done? Can I edit that?
YouTube BF. Oh, it looks like I'm
Welcome.
your boyfriend.
Let's talk YouTube BF. I don't know what the BF is. Best friends.
Oh. Alright, let's get this.
Welcome everybody. We're just getting set up. Cheers. Mr. Gorna Drift, you can see in the chat just there saying evening gentlemen. He's just come and say hello. Stick your head in.
Live.
What's going on, gents? Evening, all.
How are we, mate?
Nice to see everybody.
So live, Dripping with George. Next, okay, public. This is my first live, so I'm just figuring out how to do this.
This is George's first ever live
Yeah.
on mine, and he's also setting one up on his.
Yeah.
And don't ask me for advice because I call it Let's Talk YouTube BF.
Right, okay. So we
I wonder if I can
are
fix that
live.
somehow.
Moderation helps everyone feel safe.
Can you
Lovely.
not read in your head? Well, welcome everybody. We're just a couple of minutes away, just figuring out this last stuff. Shoot us some messages in the chat. Where are you guys from? Where is everybody from? I like seeing this.
Right. How do I add a comment?
Add a comment. I think you have
Yeah.
to do it like once it's open. You have to go into the go into the chat. And then pin
Gotcha.
it.
Okay, cool.
Kiwi currently in Bangkok. Aussie in Bangkok. Nice. Where are you from, Sam?
Sydney, Australia, formerly.
Sydney, Australia. Formally.
Um,
Is today 2 years? It may be. Do you know that? Do you know the date you landed here?
It was June. It may very well be. I don't know.
I think I've renamed it without the BF.
Really? All right. I'm gonna.
Nice.
I'm gonna refresh.
I'll refresh. and have a
Sorry,
look.
I've never actually had to do this. I messed up the name of the live stream, and then refresh.
I'm gonna get some support. I'm gonna be back in one moment.
Sweet.
To get my live done.
Cool, cool. Oh, good. Well, welcome everybody. Nice suit, thank you. This is my tailored suit that I got made just recently. But when I went to open up the suit thing, I just aged 20 years. Yeah, I feel like it too. When I opened up the suit bag, my shirt, the proper shirt wasn't in there. So this is it's like a business shirt that I'm wearing with a casual suit, but I still look alright, yeah? Alright, so I just want to see where everyone is from. Howdy from the UK, Kiwi in Bangkok, Aussie in Bangkok. To you guys in Bangkok, are you coming to join us for beers later tonight? Punawiti, Auckland, Rockhampton. I've been to Rockhampton, nice. California, I also lived in California for a few months. 3 months, a very fun 3 months. I look like a lawyer. I have no other reason to wear this suit. So I got the suit made by a tailor, and I'm never gonna wear it. So I thought, the new launch, this is a good excuse. So welcome everybody. For this, we're gonna talk about our business, what we've started, and also talk all about YouTube. So if you have YouTube questions, gear, camera questions, anything, if you want to come out here and start a YouTube channel here in Thailand or anywhere, or you want to know anything about YouTube, fire away in the questions below. These boys are just working out some technical things. So for now, shoot away some questions and we'll get into them. Aussie in Bangkok, I'm in a hotel 5 minutes away from the rooftop parties. See you there. Awesome. So we should arrive around 8 o'clock. We're gonna finish this up at 7-ish. Can you see how uncomfortable I am? I just keep, yeah. We should finish up here at 7 o'clock and get in there at 8 o'clock.
Beautiful.
How are you traveling?
So Sam is just looking into that for me. That is my first live. Had some technical difficulties.
It's a nightmare. Okay, so this is the link that you can share, yeah?
Okay. Yeah. Nice. I'll put that in the
Sure.
comments. Okay, cool.
You,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, I always get hammered in these live streams.
We live, baby.
Beautiful. Thank you, mate. Right, let me put this.
It's saying something. Maybe don't do it there because then it looks too
Yeah.
big.
This is the one. Cool. Let's have a little look at it.
Hey Keys, moved to Bangkok from BGC Philippines last October. Love it here. That's interesting. Like a lot of people make the move from one to the other. So a lot of people start in Thailand and go to the Philippines, and I hear of a lot of people that start in the Philippines and come here to Thailand. So what do you miss? I would like to know, what do you miss about the Philippines? What do you miss about BGC?
Great question.
Because I love both. I could live in the Philippines. I love the people. I don't love the food. And the transport's a little bit challenging. I really like Manila. If Manila had better public transport and easier to get around, then I would definitely live there.
I actually just got back from the Philippines about 6 days ago, and beautiful, so nice. And yeah, I mean, I didn't go to Manila. Definitely want to go next time, but blown away by the beaches. Absolutely
Yeah.
stunning.
For me, it's the people. Yeah. The beaches
yeah.
and the islands are incredible. The people in the Philippines are just so lovely.
Yeah.
BGC got too small. It's so walkable. Yeah, that I don't understand how people live in BGC because it's like, it's not even a suburb. It's just like it's like a little shopping district.
Okay.
And like, yeah, you can walk around it you can probably walk around the circumference in like an hour. Anyway, let's get into some of these. Jamal Eats, and welcome Jamal. Jamal was a big contributor in my previous courses that I did through Udemy and on the Facebook. I had a Facebook, similar sort of thing, like a bit of a community. So the question is, and welcome Jamal, I hope you check out what we're doing. Integration ads, how do you pitch them? So you will start getting approached. I've had very little luck approaching brands. I've gotten 99% of my brand deals from being contacted either by a third-party agency or by the brands directly. And then I will come back. I have what's called a media kit, which is basically a one-page thing, and that's got sort of a photo about me, a little about me, some of my channel statistics. I can, to the people in the community, I'll share mine as an example for what to have, and it just talks about my subscribers and where they're from and audience demographics and everything, and I just sort of send that through and let them know my rates, and then 50-50. Sometimes you hear back from them straight away, other times they never get back to you because I imagine they just shoot emails out to like thousands of people and just choose the ones that they think best suit. It's a challenge locking in brands, and last year, towards the second half of last year, I had locked in brands. I had 2 consistent that I was working with, and every now and then I'd dabble with a third, but I was happy with just my 2 every month, so I didn't have to do all the emails. But this year, I've only got my 1 locked in, the VPN, and I've been rotating out the other 2 every month. And I've had to sort of go through the process of locking them in and doing that email back and forth, which is a bit of a painful process, but it's just how it goes. Last month, I only did 1 extra sponsorship. This month, I have 3 on top of my 1 consistent. So it's sort of peaks and valleys, and you just take advantage of the opportunities when they come. Does anyone in here not know George? Is a question I should ask. I'm sure you do by now.
Give him an introduction.
George, I'm sure you've seen in my videos, but George, my partner, co-founder of the Creator's Edge, and really the brains behind the operation. So if you have any questions for us about anything, about YouTube, about starting a business, about everything we're doing, fire away. Oh, I just passed 15K subs. When is it good to start pushing your channel for ads?
Congrats.
Are you talking about monetization? Because you should already be doing it.
Congrats.
I do it. I did it the day I was monetized. Turn it on. YouTube is a business. First and foremost, it's actually an advertising platform. We look at it as an entertainment platform. It's an advertising platform. And it's in YouTube's best interest. It's in everyone's best interest if there's ads in your videos, because YouTube makes more money, so there's more incentive for them to push it. They make money, you make money. It's a win-win. So monetize as soon as you can. Do you remember the first time we met? You asked me when was the right time, or when should you do your first integration?
Yeah.
And what did I tell you?
Right away.
Right away.
Right away.
Do it now.
I said that a company had approached me and they wanted a 30-second promo for $300. Should I do it? And you said, of course you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly that.
So I did it.
What AI tools would you recommend, if any, for editing, clipping, etc.? Do you use AI tools?
Yeah, I do. So opus.clips is really good for turning long form into short form. Really, really good. Definitely recommend opus.clips. If you just type in Opus Clips, Opus Reels in Google, they'll come up and you can get a free trial on there. They're probably the best for turning long form into short form. You just need to have the video published to YouTube and then it will do the rest for you. I actually use Claude for a little bit of like preparation and script creation. So if I'm trying to think about how to work through my hook, or maybe how to structure my transitions or something like this, I'll use Claude to help me do that. And what I'll actually do is I'll maybe take some of the YouTubers that I watch, or maybe some of the information I'm trying to sort of communicate in my videos. I'll take the transcript from those videos on YouTube, put them into AI, ask AI to analyze them for me, ask AI to tell me what they did well, and then try and pull that information into my video. So it really helps sort of sharpen in the axe there.
Nice. Yeah, AI is changing the way we do everything. I'm really behind on AI because I'm so bullheaded in that creativity is a thing that comes from a person. And I know I'm wrong, but it's just something I hold on to. But AI is definitely changing the way. Have you seen those? I saw today, it's like just AI vlogs. And they're like ridiculous ones. I saw this one today of like a guy on the Titanic making a vlog.
No, I've not seen that. That's cool.
And it's all AI. And it looks like you can tell it's AI, but only just. It's getting so scarily good at creating videos now. And like 2 years ago, we didn't have this, right? A year ago, it was dog shit for video, and now it's just like mind blowing.
Yeah. I think it's an incredibly powerful tool, but like all tools, it's how you use it, right? You have to give it that direction. And like you said, that creative spark, that inspiration has to come from yourself.
Mr. Triple Jack 82. I know YouTube pays, but there is also a lot that you have to put into that's very time consuming. It can be. Especially like I was talking, like the sponsorships, chasing down sponsors. Two things I hate with a passion about doing this: emails and invoicing. Fucking hate invoicing. This is the thing that to me that feels like work. I used to, when I was in corporate, I would wear a suit and sit at my computer and answer emails and check over invoices and things like that. And that feels like work. The fun for me is the creating and going out and making the videos and editing them. But it is a necessary thing. It's just about how you allocate the time. I like to do all my emails and stuff in the morning. It's the first thing I do. Come in, do my emails, and then get rid of it. That's the last time I look at it. I don't really check back on it. Sometimes like I'll just check if there's been any replies for anything that I'm chasing. But apart from that, I just get that out of the way as quickly as possible. What's your sort of daily schedule like?
Usually first thing in the morning, it's like preparation. So I always plan my videos. Like, I'm not good at really going off the cuff. And actually now when I plan my videos, I use the exact blueprint that you give me. So I go in, I've got essentially a template or a framework that I use to plan my videos, and I'll start planning from there. And then in each section of the video, I'm just going to try and think about, what's the thing I want to communicate in this video, where am I going to go, what that's going to look like. I mean, I'll already know where I'm going to go. So I think, cool, I'm going to go Chinatown, I'm going to go Khao San Road, I'm going to go somewhere in Sukhumvit. So I'll usually go there early, get extremely caffeinated, plan out the video till like 11, and then I'll go out recording. And then that'll take a couple of hours. Now I'll pick 3 or 4 different spots that I go to. And I really like that because it becomes an additive feature to your life. It's like I find that making videos makes me do things I wouldn't usually do. And then by the end of that day, I'm so grateful that I did that because I got to go and see and do things that I otherwise wouldn't have.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have that live link for the Creator's Edge?
Let me put that in there.
Thank you, Bailey. You're looking good as well.
Shall I shoot that to you?
Just put it in the chat. I should be able to pin it.
Cool.
Where are we? Do they sell those jackets in men's? You know what? They need to sell it a bit bigger. I was in great shape when I got this made for me, and I am fucking not now. God.
Growing lad.
Yeah, not growing in the right way.
Growing sideways.
Growing sideways, yeah. Growing outwards. Keys, I heard you mention in the last live you changed your approach to sharing a lot of your personal life. Could you elaborate on how much personal life you recommend a vlogger to share? Cool question. So, I used to share everything. So, there's a fine line because the more you share about yourself, the more the audience connects with you. And that was very much my strategy at the beginning is like, I'm going to share as much as I can, tell you who I am, where I come from, everything, because then you will feel like my friend, and then you're more likely to watch and more likely to tune in back when, especially when I was doing it every day. I felt that connection was super, super important. So I used to share everything. Now, what happened over time was like, I realized the things I shared were no longer just mine. I would share friendships and relationships and things like that. And then people would like leave me comments like, oh, I saw your friend, whoever, blah, blah, blah. Like, especially like the females, like the girls, people would be like, oh, I saw this girl last night and I met her and she wasn't very nice to me, blah, blah, blah. Like whatever the situation. And I was like, I don't like other people like trying to come into, not like trying to break up my friend circle or anything, but I just wanted like a layer of it being sort of separate. And I then sort of changed up my strategy of like, okay, what do I want to share and what do I need? What should just be mine and just be for me? What happened with all the girls that used to be friends of mine that would come on videos, one by one, something would happen and they no longer wanted to be on the videos, whether it be on camera or off camera or like something in the comments or something someone said in the street or something like that. I want to be on camera. I want to be, fame is not the right word, but I want to be a public person out there on the internet. These people don't. They just want to have a good time, and if we make a fun video together, that's all they want out of it. And it's all the other stuff that comes along with it. So an example was someone said something really nasty about like one of the girls I was friends with in the comments, and I didn't get the chance to delete it before she saw it. And she was really hurt by that. And this is just what happens on the internet. So she was like, I'm out. I'm never coming on any of your videos ever again. And then similar things happen to other people and invasion of their privacy, people tracking them down on social media and sliding into their DMs and stuff. So in a way, you need to be sort of protective of that. So this is a very long-winded answer of, I don't really know what you should and shouldn't share. I've decided I don't share my relationship. I don't share my family. I put my brother in my videos, but he's my brother. It's like completely different. You know, I don't show my mom, my dad. Like these are things that's mine, and I don't need to share that. I don't need views from that. So I keep that for me. But it's a balancing act, and it just depends on how much you're willing to share and how much you're willing to subject the people that you share to the shit that's out there on the internet. Thoughts?
Yeah, I like that. You know, and maybe this is a mistake, I found myself sharing more and more of my personal life. And I sort of see myself moving into a space. I'm going back to the UK in a couple of days for a couple of weeks, and I see myself wanting to put more and more of my family on there and show more and more of my life. And almost in a way that in, 20, 30, 40 years, if I'm still here, I can look back and have those memories in a way that many people don't have.
See, I've made videos with my family, but I don't share them.
Interesting. Yeah.
They're just videos I made, and they're just private in our family album sort of thing.
Yeah.
For the same reason, like I want that memory.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone else needs to see that. Like,
yeah. That's fair. And I think that the stage of growth that I'm at, I haven't faced the issues that you faced. So maybe I'm making decisions based on sort of where I'm at in my journey that it doesn't seem like it'd be an issue.
Yeah. And
And it
that's how it
was-
started for me. It was
yeah.
all about fun at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this chick I'm friends with, like, let's make a video. Like, let's bring my camera out on a date. Like,
Yeah.
This was all just like me having fun with it, and just it became a hell of a lot more.
You may as well go down to the answer JJ, the lonely bull question, because it follows on.
How do you handle aggressive fans, almost stalker, and how do you handle the trolls that both come with success? So a big part of, sorry, and I haven't stopped talking yet.
No, please do.
A big eye-opener to me was when my channel was about your size. I had around 5,000 subscribers. I was staying in a hotel in Pattaya, and I was sharing everything. I was sharing the hotel I was in. I was sharing me hanging out with my friends and stuff. And one day I was just in the hotel room doing some work, and someone knocked on the door, and I thought it was housekeeping. So I went and opened the door, and it was just some guy, and he's like, "Hey man, love your videos. Like, let's go grab a beer." And it sort of like scared me. I was like, "Whoa!" Like caught completely off guard. And it made me realize, like, oh, you kind of need to be careful. And like, this guy was harmless and he had good intentions, but it was still like way too weird for me. It was too much. So, and everyone has different ideas in their mind of what is acceptable behavior. And when you share so much and people feel like they know you, then that, you know, that can be an effect of that. So that made me really aware of what I share and why I've never shared like where I live. I'd never filmed, even when I lived in Bangkok in the city, I never filmed anything within like, I don't know, probably 500 meters of my place. I used to start videos walking out of a different condo down the road to just throw off, just to give that extra layer of safety. That's why I blur the number plate on my car and things like that, because there are sort of strange people out there.
Yeah, you form a parasocial relationship, which is a one-sided relationship with somebody.
Yeah.
Where in a very real way, you know that person. Like I feel like if I was gonna sit down with like Joe Rogan, I feel like I know Joe Rogan. I know his hobbies, I know his interests, I know the recent conversations you've had, but he would know who the hell I am. Right? It's a one-sided relationship that you've got.
Yeah. In terms of aggressive fans, I've never had that situation. I had a guy that was really rude to one of my friends once, and I just slapped him because I didn't enjoy that. But apart from that, that's it. And trolls, just don't even read them. Just block them, move on, because you'll get it. I just read the first line of a comment, and if I see it's going in a direction I don't like, just block.
Yeah. I mean, you told me to do that recently, and I always sort of kept them there and tried to like communicate. And you said to me, you know, they'll just eventually
Fuck
get
'em
worse and worse and worse and push their luck, see what they can get away with.
Yeah, and that's why it's through the experience of me. I would block people, and we can see people's commenting history. So many times I'll go to block someone, and I'll just like click their thing and see their comment history, and you can just see it started off with like a little jab, and then it got more and more and more, and then they're just sort of pushing, and you're like, well, I should have just gotten rid of this guy at the beginning. So,
and I think I don't remember the last time I left a negative comment on a video.
No.
I went out of my way to insult someone or something like this or something.
did you put the link in?
I did, mate. It might be up here somewhere. I definitely put it in.
I didn't see
Here we
it.
go. Just below Bailey, above JP Travels. But it didn't look like a URL, so maybe only you can post a URL.
I can't see it.
Control F.
Just
Should I do it again?
stick it in and see if we can see it.
I'm happy to keep reposting.
There's a link that we want to use for it to track. Do you have the link?
No. If you could flick it to me.
Yeah, can you send it to Sam?
Yes.
And Sam, you can just pin it in there.
Papson asks, I'm sorry I just joined, but why is Keys in a suit tonight?
And that will, actually, I just want to answer one quick question that I saw that I keep meaning to come back to. Short or long form content for money, for revenue, is somewhere, or something along those lines. Shorts versus long form for revenue. Long form all day. Shorts on YouTube pay practically zero. TikTok doesn't pay that great. Instagram pays practically zero as well. YouTube long form is the way to go. The reason I am in a suit, and also there's another question here. Can you tell us a little bit about the Creator's Edge? We have launched, or today we are officially launching the Creator's Edge. Do you want to tell everyone a little bit about it?
Yeah, mate, for sure. So the Creator's Edge is essentially a community with courses, calls, and support to help people become content creators, launch their own online business so they can travel the world. Really, this sort of began when we first connected. I don't know how long ago it was, maybe 6 months ago,
6 months
something
ago,
like
yeah.
that. And you know, for me, I'm an aspiring YouTuber. You know, I want to grow my brand. I've been working online for a lot of time, but I really wanted to grow my brand. And you know, I've been out here for 2.5 years, and it's been a slog. You know, you're sort of doing it on your own. You wish that there was a way you could learn from other people who've already done it. And really, this was born out of my own frustrations. You know, I wish there was a way I could learn from other successful YouTubers, have a community of people all sort of working on the same goals, access the information, community support to really accelerate that process and make it happen. And you know, we connected, and I sort of shared, you know, this was something that I really wanted to bring to life. And I'd actually been thinking about this for probably a year before we actually spoke about it. It just never really got to that point where it sort of manifested and became real. And I think when we started speaking about it, it was like, okay, we could really see now how this could become something that'd be really valuable to people. So, you know, for me, I really see this as born out of my own personal frustrations, own personal struggles of wanting to grow my personal brand, to support any online business ventures that I have. You know, for me, I've got a lot of experience in digital marketing, online business. You know, I've worked in startups, I've worked in e-commerce, marketing agencies, all that kind of stuff. But you know, for me, I really believe that building a personal brand is going to be really important over the next 5-10 years, particularly with the rise of AI. And I think that if people do want to travel, you know, long term, you know, in 5 years' time, I think having a personal brand is going to be really important for that. And so I just wanted to create this space where people could do that. And I think through speaking with you, being the person that has all of this knowledge, has all of this experience, you know, you could just see really, you could see the vision, see what it could look like. But how would you sort of see it and describe it?
Yeah, I mean, the site. Yeah, that's the behind the scenes basically. That's the thought process of it all and how it all came together. What it actually is it's a community, and there's also like online courses is sort of like the nuts and bolts of it. We have courses in there. We both have courses in there. We have courses from other creators. We have a ton more courses coming in, and this is, the community is a huge part of it. Basically, this is somewhere where all creators can go hang out. You can learn constantly. There's always going to be new things that you can learn coming in. And then we have the community of other creators in there as well, where people can all talk to each other. For me, the biggest key to my success was collaborating and working with Dan the Man, who I'm sure many of you will know. He was like my mate here at the time, and we were both coming up together, and everything we would learn, he's also a student of the game, and everything that we would learn, we would share and sort of bounce ideas off each other, and we would trial and error things. But having those, you know, two heads working together is sort of double the trial and error, and we were able to learn so much quicker. And he would, you know, come to me with an idea, and I'd be like, oh, don't do that because I did it and this happened. So the community that we're building is that on crack 1,000 times bigger, because there's going to be so many other creators in there. So you can, you know, put a post in there, hey, this is a video I'm thinking about doing, or what is your thoughts on my latest video? And you can have 10, 20, however many different people give you their feedback and say, I didn't like this part, that bit was too long, blah, blah, blah. I think that's a shitty idea. The title sucks, whatever. Like, all these things will help you. Whereas, like, I still send thumbnails to Sam or to my friends. I'll be like, which thumbnail do you think's better? You know, just having that, the people to bounce off is invaluable. So that's what we've created, is a place for that, but then also you can constantly learn. And there's the reach that I have and friends of mine and other creators, we can give you like advice, one-to-one advice. We've been through that. We know, you know, we can tell people straight away, don't do that, that's a bad idea, do this instead.
I would call it a fast track machine. That's what the community is. It's going to fast track you to success. It's a machine that does that, in my opinion.
I mean, for example, the courses are awesome. Your course is fantastic.
Thank you.
So in it, he teaches step by step how to make a video just like he does, right? And I copied the exact process, and on that video, my retention went from like 32% to like 54%. And it went from maybe an average view of like 1,600 to 16,000. And that was through one course. And I wonder how many videos I'd need to have made to have leveled up that amount.
Well, all the information that I put into that, it was like, 2 months ago, whatever, I shot that. So that's my knowledge at the later stage.
Yeah.
That's 4 years of knowledge that I've gained, not just through trial and error, but also through learning, and I've studied other people and practiced and done everything myself, plus the experience of making 600-700 videos.
Yeah.
So you're just going straight to the end. You're just skipping that 4 years of, definitely the first year was, for me, was so much trial and error. And so much like thinking I was doing the right thing, and I look back on it, it's like, oh God, I was way off.
Yeah. I mean, I do think the ability to watch that course and make that jump probably saved me having to make 100, 200 videos, which is just ridiculous.
Sam, did you put the link in?
Yeah, when did you send it to me?
IG, mate.
Perfect.
Cool. Sammy hiding off camera. Sam will jump in from time to time. In a minute, I'm going to go grab a beer and he can come take the hot seat. But Sam's staying with me at the moment. He's up here for a couple of days. George lives close by, so we're all just hanging out.
Oh yeah, for the after party tonight.
Yeah. There was a good question in here for you. I was lagging, and then I was like, oh, no comments are coming through, and then they all just...
Yeah. There's a lot now.
Just a quick one. Clueless George says, not you, the other Clueless George. I actually walked by you and jumped in a while back, but didn't say hello because I would feel like an internet weirdo. Say hello. If you see us, any of us, say hello, have a chat. We're just normal people. And we enjoy that. I love having chats with people.
Yeah, me too.
How early... Oh, here we go. George, have you been fully nomad recently? Seems like you've been traveling a lot lately, but you have a home, or do you have a home base in Bangkok?
William Elliott. Yes, mate, still based in Bangkok, but yeah, I've been going all over the place. I just went to Dubai for 10 days. That was pretty fun. Then I went to Vietnam before that, which was great. Went around Ho Chi Minh, Hoi An, Da Nang, really, really cool. Spent some time in Dubai and then just went to the Philippines. So I think the great thing about being based in Thailand is you've got all these places that you can sort of jump to. It's so well located to all these other really exciting destinations, and we just wanted to make the most of having that little bit of freedom and being located where we are. But to answer your question, yes, still based in Bangkok. I think every time I leave Bangkok, there's just this pull to go back there. It pulls you back. After 2 months here, I need to have a break. Does my head in. But then after being away for a week to 2 weeks, I get like withdrawal symptoms of Bangkok. So still based in Bangkok. I think it's the best place to be based. Easy to get to the islands, easy to get to other places in Southeast Asia. I absolutely love having it as a base. I don't really see me changing my base for at least a couple of years. Yeah. But definitely doing the nomad thing a little bit, seeing a bit of the world, loving it. Got to do it if you can. Bangkok is a base for sure.
Is the Creator's Edge a subscription service?
It is indeed. So you can join on the monthly, you can join on the annual, and that way you can sort of come in, get the value, stay for as long as you need, and leave when you feel that you need to. Yes. So it is a subscription service. But yeah,
you're not locked in for a year.
Yeah,
if you only want to do it for a month, that's cool.
Yeah.
Come in, check out what it's about.
Yeah, I think you can come in, get the value, stay for as long as you feel you need to, and when you feel that you sort of got everything you needed to, you're at a point where you feel you can move on, you can absolutely do that for sure.
Yeah. But there's no lock-in,
No.
anything like that. How early in your channel life would you promote affiliate links to ensure you don't alienate your new subscribers? Right away. 0 subscribers have affiliate links. Does anyone disagree? Do you disagree? No? If affiliate links are a really good earner, and if you just have them, like I just have them in the description of all my videos, you don't need to push them. I find a casual mention is way better than a push. So, as an example, my insurance, I use Safety Wing Insurance, and if I'm going to push it or try and get a bit of a bump on that, I'll just mention something about insurance and say, I use Safety Wing. There's a link down in the description if you care. Something like that. Just, if people are interested, they'll go check it out. If they're not, they won't. As long as you're not just like, you know, like spilling off ads to annoy people, then you'll be fine. But I just have a copy-paste document. I put in all my video descriptions. You can check out any one of my videos and have a look at the description to get an idea of how that looks. Because if people are interested, they'll go check it out. And people like to support smaller creators. They'll help you. Sam, you got all sorts of affiliate links, right?
Yep, and I've weeded out the ones that don't work, that people will never click on, and I've kept the good ones.
Yeah.
You've got some members in here. Mark, he's under the name Pursuing Impact. He just signed up for the course, and he's
Nice.
given it a huge plug in the chat here.
Nice. Do you want to come closer, or do you want to sit here?
Legend Mark, thank you for that. Glad you enjoyed it, mate. It's great to have you in there for sure, and definitely can't wait to connect with you more over the coming weeks for sure. I'm really happy you're liking it.
Sam, can you? I know you posted it, but you've got that long Kicks TV. I'm already signed up. Can you just like post the link and then?
Yeah, I just
Can it?
need you to open. There's obviously not comments, or I just posted in there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the sign up link.
Okay. Hit message.
You could even whack that in the description below the video here, if you can go back.
Nice.
Yes.
Lives are all alien to me. I gave up on mine. It was too much, too complicated. I pressed a button and my whole face went green. And I was like, okay, another time.
Is it suitable for complete beginners? Yes, absolutely. And I think it's more. So far, most of the people that we have in there are complete beginners.
Yeah.
I have a course coming in there in the next couple of weeks, the Blueprint, which is my original course, and that covers like everything from even like how to start the channel and make make your banner and all those things. And that goes all the way from there, from creating the email to sign up to YouTube, all the way through to everything that I'd learned. So it's a great place for complete beginners and a really good place. So much of what you need to do is just like be talking to other people and, you know, get the creative juices flowing and try things, you know, make a video, make your first video, post it in there and like ask people what they think. And this is the best way to get your feedback and help you grow.
Yeah. No, I really wish this existed back when I began. Because, you know, I really had like a faulty perception about sort of what it would take a little bit or how long it would take to get good. And I remember saying that to you before, you know, I just thought I'd rock up here, put on a bit of B-roll, chat a bit of shit, put on a bit of B-roll, chat a bit of shit, and then that would be it. And really there was so much more happening behind the scenes that made those videos. And yeah, I just wish I learned that 150 videos earlier for sure.
Yeah.
So William Elliott asks, what's the community communication method, which is in the platform? Is it a message board like Reddit, chats? And are both of you guys going to actively participate?
100%, yeah. So we've actually got a community feed in there, and we can break sort of the way that that's sort of structured down. So if you've just got a general question, something you want to share, your wins, you want to share your videos in there, you want to collab with other people inside the community, it's all there in this feed, and that's like active all the time. You know, everyone's posting their videos in there, asking questions. And yeah, both me and Keith were in there every day and engaging with everybody, answering those questions. And you know, we want as many people in there as we can. We want as much engagement as we can. So it's really very active. Actually, so we did literally the pre-launch 2 days ago, and we're blown away by how active it is and how everybody's already supporting each other, giving each other feedback on the videos they're sharing, the ideas that they've got. So yeah, there's a great feed in there. We're using a platform called School, which is probably the best sort of community course connection platform that's out there at the moment. It's super easy to use. I mean, you literally go in and you know exactly where everything is. But I actually think, I mean, the courses are extremely valuable. You know, we've got your course in there, we've got my course in there.
And a lot coming.
Yeah, and a lot coming. We've got a course from Marion in there, Dan. So, you know, the courses are great. I actually think the community is a really valuable aspect.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
as someone called you two, you're complete YouTube beginners. And I blocked them. That's just wow. I've got something to show you.
Love it.
You can stick us up. Someone asked, had we met each other? Did you meet in Thailand or know each other from back home? So we met. George reached out to me to make a video together, and the first time we met, we were having lunch, and George was talking about this idea he had. I had an idea of like making courses and sort of growing. Like I had a course already, but I wanted to sort of take that to the next level and make a series of courses, like ongoing, so there's always new courses. And I was listening to George, his idea of what he had, and I had my idea of what I had. I'm like, oh my God, if we can find a way to put these two together, then this is going to be really, really interesting. I like the way George thinks, and I liked his attitude towards it all. And then so I actively chased that. I sort of basically shot him a proposal email, pretty much like straight after that.
Yeah.
And that's where it happened. So we just met to make a video together, and we just had like great conversations, and it sort of got the ball rolling, and then and then here we are.
Yeah.
And my mom's asking, am I wearing chinos? I am, check it out. They're a bit tighter than when I got them tailored a couple of months back, but if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right. People will always be, jealous, troll, whatever. It's really hard to tell yourself that at the beginning. At the beginning, it's really difficult to, you tell yourself, they're just saying that because they're jealous. And people do nasty things. People make videos about you. This happened to me 3 times last month. People made videos about me. I don't watch them. I don't give a shit. People just tell me about them. Whatever. At the beginning, you just tell yourself, they're just jealous. They just want what I have, blah, blah, blah. But it's hard to believe that. Once you get to a certain level, like I don't remember when it was, but there was some point my channel reached, I think I was just like earning enough money to have a great living here. And I was like, I don't care what you say. Like, it's you can't tell me who I am. I already know who I am. So yeah, just this is part of it. And you need to sort of be aware of that going in, or be aware of that going in, and just accept it.
I think, there's a nice saying, which the brighter you shine, the more shadows you cast. And I think it's good to be mindful that sometimes might see the way you're living your life or other people are living their life, and it might make them feel a negative way about themselves. And it's a lot easier to attack other people to then maybe address the unhappiness they're feeling in their own life and to make the changes that they need to make to be happier. And so that's why sometimes when I get these comments, I try to sort of flip it and feel a little bit of compassion, because I'm not in a place in my life where I'm going on YouTube, I'm attacking people, I'm leaving comments. I don't feel that I need to do that. I've not got that unhappiness in my life. Do you know what I mean? I've not got this sort of jealousy and resentment to other people. And so when I get that, I think, you poor bugger. Do you know what I mean? You're on YouTube giving crap to people. And I found that the only comments that really hurt were the ones that I felt might in some way have been true.
But that's it. The only ones that have... The worst thing a hater or troll or whatever can do is confirm any self-doubt or anything that you're insecure about yourself.
Yeah.
So you just need to be a level ahead of that.
Yeah.
Quick question from Sir William Elliott. Where's the meetup tonight? It's called Palate Bar. Palate. It's in... I don't know what the area is. It's Bang Rak, really. Bang Rak. Just near Safan Taksim BTS station, down by the river. Near the Labua Hotel, not far from there. Rob said, how old were you when you moved to Thailand? I'm planning to go when I'm 32. I feel like I wasted years before not going. You're younger than I was when I well, not when I moved to Thailand, but when I quit my job. I think I was 30, I don't know. I was in my 30s. And I always thought that as well, like, oh, am I leaving it too late? I was at this weird point in my career. It was like the first time I was earning like really good money and had a great job and promotion. And I was like, if I stay, like an extra year, I can earn a little bit more money. And then I've got people in the company like saying, don't leave, like you're going places and you're the rising star of the company, blah, 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 blah. And there's always going to be a reason not to do it. So just ignore that and do it. It's never, never, never too late.
Yeah. I was exactly 32 and I had similar feelings like, is this the wrong time? But it's the Chinese proverb, best time to plant that was 10 years ago, second best time to plant the trees today. We can't get any younger, and I actually feel it's the perfect age. Like for me, I was old enough that I wasn't making immature, irrational decisions. I was mature enough in myself that I could do this and I feel like I could commit to it for the long time.
Having that maturity and that life experience is invaluable as well. If I'd moved overseas when I was 20, I would have just partied and, well, I kind of did that anyway. But I wouldn't have stopped. I would have been still doing that for 20 years and I probably would have died. So yeah, it's so freezing leaving the Matrix. I did the same. Bangkok Bert, yeah. And it really is like that. I got a notification on Facebook 2 days ago saying, 7 years ago today was like, there's a picture of me in Korea and I was like holding up a beer in Korea and all my suitcases were there. I just landed, literally before I unpacked in my Airbnb. It was 7 years ago, a couple of days ago, so insane.
Nice. But it's how they get you, they get you get your 4% a year pay rise, your small little bumps, your bonuses every 6 months, so they keep you in there. You get stuck in these loan payments, these car repayments, these mortgages, and you just get trapped in this cycle of monthly payments and slow incremental accumulation that the years can just go. So people say escape from the matrix, but there is a component where you have to decide, well, I'm going to play a slightly different game. I'm going to have a slightly different vision for my life, and if I'm going to have what a lot of people can't have, I need to do a lot of things that a lot of people won't do.
Someone asked one of the videos about me. I don't know, I didn't watch it. Oh, I watched one of them, but it was just like a 30-second video. I don't know. Like, people will just always like run to things like, oh, he's a trust fund baby, or they'll always just look for reasons to discredit you in a way that would just makes them feel better, right? A hater can never tell you who you are. They only tell you who they are. And what that means is, if someone's calling me a trust fund baby, which I'm not, I wouldn't have spent 6 months building this business if I had a trust fund. I'd be on a beach somewhere instead of working. When people say that, they're just validating why they haven't achieved things that they haven't done. They're saying, oh, well, if I had endless money, I could do that too, in their mind, and that's why they're sort of putting that out there.
It's easier to chop people down than climb up the tree. Do you know what I mean? It's so much easier to give an insult than it is to actually do something to change your own life. And projection is a very real thing. So there's something in psychology where basically there's all these aspects about yourself that you don't really want to own up to, you don't want to face, you don't feel good about. And what you do is you put that onto the outside world around you. Sometimes I've got these long comments that they're descriptive in a level of detail which is absurd and also completely false.
About you?
About me. You were raised by rich parents, all you do is drink 12 beers a night and rattle bar girls and this, that, and it's like...
past the second
but the point is, it was like, well, I was raised by a single mum in council estates, my dad's a doorman, and I haven't drunk a beer in like 10 years. I'm drinking like this vodka thing. But the whole point was there was a level of detail in it that all this person was doing was projecting just these different elements of themselves onto me. And I think when you start creating content, you need to be aware that you're going to be opening yourself up to the projections of others, and it's just, I suppose it's part of the game, right? Yeah, part of the game.
How, if you become a member of the Creator's Edge, how will you guys help new YouTubers to overcome that hurdle?
Through the lessons, this is something that we talk about, and I imagine, because we're going to have lessons from many creators, and this is something that everyone goes through, so I think this is something that everyone will have their own unique way of addressing. But also, you can't discount the support. So, like, you may have, and that's the funny thing about comments, right? You can read 100 good comments, and you're like, oh, that's nice, and they don't stick. And then that one shitty one will replay in your mind. So just learning how to block that out. And like I said to you, I don't read past the first line.
Yeah.
Like, I don't look at usernames when reading comments. I don't just start reading the comment. Okay, this is cool. Like let's read this. I put out a video recently that was like a little bit controversial about the tourism decline here in Bangkok, and the racism that was in the comments. Like, this wasn't stuff directed at me, but oh my god, I've never had. I think that video got 2,000-3,000 comments, and I didn't block those people because they weren't being nasty to me. They're just being nasty, so I just deleted them. But God, like, same thing. I just read the first line and I'm just like, oh no. But just it's much easier to say than do. To not let it get to you. But I think where the Creators Edge can help is you will have a support network of other people that are there and helping you. You know, they believe in you, and already we're seeing everyone in there is chatting to each other.
Yeah.
We're not driving these conversations; they're already happening. So this is where it's going to go, and everyone in there will be sort of encouraging each other, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I wish when I had, received some negative comments, I had a community to share it with, who would then have my back.
Yeah.
Rather than crying to a pillow. You know what I mean?
Kees, did you have photography or videography experience before starting on YouTube? I've been photography a little bit, not like proper camera photography, but videography. Yeah, I've been filming stuff forever. So. As a kid, I used to make videos riding my BMX bike and skate videos. I was telling Sam last night, I used to, before computers, to edit videos, before laptops or whatever. Actually, I have it here, I'll show you. I filmed videos on this little old Panasonic that's got a tape inside of there. And to get it onto a VHS tape, because we didn't have computers around this time, or I didn't anyway, that could edit video. What I would do is you plug the AV cables into the TV, and you can record onto a VHS. So I would record our videos through the camera, and then to get music on it, I would use the output from my PlayStation into the audio. So the video would come from this, and the audio would come from my PlayStation, where I put a CD to mix videos.
And that's how you put your soundtrack.
That's how I put the soundtrack.
That's unbelievable.
So I love Final Cut Pro.
Wow.
I'm never upset by the editing process, but always been into it, but never vlogs. It was more sports and action sports related. I was always into skating, riding dirt bikes. I'd make videos about my cars and things like that, but never vlogs. It wasn't until till just before I started traveling that I got into vlogs.
I think I'm very bullish on vlogs. I think vlogs are really going to be growing over the next couple of years. With the rise of AI, I think that sense of personal connection and seeing into people's lives, it's going to really make a resurgence over the next couple of years, I think.
I think so too.
Greetings from Kuwait. How cool.
Wow.
Nice. Why buy property when you can buy Bitcoin? I'm with you.
Someone asked, would you ever buy a property in Thailand, Adam? Or you, George?
I would never buy a property in Thailand. A lot of it depreciates, especially like the condos here. Houses, over the long term will increase in value, but it's really difficult for a foreigner to buy a house here. It's possible, you can do it through a business and everything, but then selling it is always a challenge. It's not like back home. Back home in the West, it's drilled into us our whole lives. Buy property, it's always going to go up in value. The demand is always going to be there. Whereas here, there's places. This complex is 13 years old. There is a handful of houses in here that have never had anyone live in them. There's just not. I've been in condo buildings that have apartments that have never had anyone in them. There's just way more supply than demand here.
Yeah. Basic economics, right? There has to be that supply-demand tension. And the thing is when you're in Bangkok and you look out, there's just so many windows. There's so many properties for people to choose from.
Well, you go at night and look how many lights are on in the condos. Like, it's insane. Like, it's, a third. at best. If you delete a comment, does the person know that you've deleted the comment, or does it still show up for them? That's a really good question, Brad. I don't know for that. I know if you block someone, their comments still show up for them, so they don't even know they've been blocked, which is hilarious, and I love that YouTube does that, just to mess with them. So, but for deleting, I think the comment disappears. Something that's interesting is like if YouTube doesn't like your comment either, it doesn't get shown. So it still lets a hell of a lot through, but sometimes people will write things, it doesn't like links and stuff like that. But I've had people say, why are you deleting my comments? And I haven't deleted any.
Yeah, that regularly.
Yeah. I had someone giving it to me and I was giving it back. Whilst I was trying to give it back, he was commenting more, why are you deleting my comments? I was thinking, I'm not. I didn't know that till just now, so that makes sense.
What do you recommend for fresh creators to overcome the shyness of shooting videos of themselves? Should you create a bunch and accommodate to you being on video? What I used to do is make practice videos. I actually have one that I'm going to post in the community. I found it the other day. When I first bought, I think it was my GoPro 6. I wanted to make a vlog, and it was like me running around Sydney making a vlog, and it was my first ever vlog. I'd been on YouTube before, I'd been on camera before, but this is my first time sort of doing it in public. Before that, I'd practiced in my backyard, like in the yard of the apartments that I lived in, just to get an idea of where the sun should be. Should it be on my face? Should it be behind me? How does the lighting work? But make practice videos. Make them around your house at first. Walk out into the street out the front of yours and just do it where you're more comfortable. It's a tough thing speaking confidently on camera in public. Something is still difficult for me sometimes.
It is a skill that you can develop, right?
It's a skill that you can develop, yeah. And the more you do it, the easier it gets, without question. So just practice.
Yeah, and the way I think is like the obstacle is the way. Like that thing that's in the way of you making the videos, like that's the thing to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes the cost of not overcoming that fear and uncertainty can be so huge. Creating that life that you want, building that channel, building that brand. The cost is so high that sometimes it's just working through that fear and that uncertainty. And the great thing is, particularly in the early days, right? It's like maybe you don't get many views. Mm-hmm. So that fear that you're worried about people watching it or judging you or anything like this, it may not even happen, right? So as you get those reps in and you make more videos, as the views start to accumulate, you sort of work through that feeling of uneasiness over time. So it sort of levels out over time, I think.
Great question from Search Your Heart. Can you see that one?
Search Your Heart.
It's about storytelling.
Actually, I was just reading this. Is it important to stick to a story throughout the channel? I have a ton of ideas, but worry it's not too cohesive. Is it better to stick to a theme? Yes, and this is something, Sam is actually really, really good at this. There's having an ongoing storyline within your channel. It helps people coming back.
You were the master of this. You're way better, in my opinion, than me.
I think it's really important to have a channel
sticking
strategy.
to the theme.
Sticking to the theme, and also like
I diverge sometimes accidentally.
Having something. If you're building hype for the next video or for a direction that you're going in, people will want to be along for that ride. So it's super important, and having channel strategy is very important too. Not just making videos and sticking them up and hoping for the best.
That one for me was the biggest revelation about seeing the way that you did things. There's a saying like your story should be like somebody's bones. You don't know that it's there. You don't see it, but it's sort of something that you enjoy. It's something that's there and it's something that's necessary. And as I said, I used to think it was just like go record something, B-roll, go record something, B-roll. But there is that story, right? That setup, conflict resolution that happens throughout the process. And we actually did like a deep dive on that, and that's inside the Creator's Edge, an actual deep dive on storytelling. And now every time I approach a video, I try and think, what's the setup, what's the conflict, what's the resolution of this? And then also, how can I create larger narratives that maybe span multiple videos? Like you said, like what are the 3 or 4 different personal storylines or things that I'm going through that weaves through different videos.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is just what keeps people coming back. I was just gonna talk about this. Someone just asked if I'm doing more videos about modifying the car. This is a great example of something I did. Modifying my car, doing it up. People that are not into cars are enjoying this because I've created this really interesting series around it. Like, this is where it started. People want to see what the finished product's going to be. And every single one of those videos has a real clear, like, setup conflict resolution. Here's a problem with the car. We're going to go fix it, and then it's going to be great. Let's go throughout that process. And this is something that I would be doing whether I was making the videos or not. So when I started doing this, I didn't expect the videos to perform anywhere nearly as well as they did, because for me it was just fun. I'm doing up my car. This is what I love to do. And I'm just going to make videos of the process, so I have the videos. And then they started performing better and better. And even I've got people like Paddy Doyle is one of my closest friends. He's like texting me. It's like, dude, I don't know anything about cars. Don't care about cars. Never looked twice at anything about cars other than the color. And he's like, I am hooked on this series, which is really cool. So yeah, having those series within the channel is really important.
Yeah.
What do you think about YouTubers being fake positive? A lot of times it seems so cheesy and corny. I know you need to be energetic, but sometimes the positivity seems so fake. Do you have thoughts on this?
Yeah, 100%. You know, authenticity, I think, is key, right? No one is 100% happy, and no place is 100% perfect. And I think that just pretending that you are always okay and everything, everywhere you are is always great, it's just clearly inauthentic, and I think it just creates a lack of trust with the viewer. You know, and I think that maybe showing your own insecurities, your own flaws, the things that maybe you're scared or worried about, and maybe the things that annoy you about the place that you are, if it's a travel-based thing, I think that will create a deeper connection with the people that's watching your videos, because they know it's real. And the best response I've got to some of my videos where I'm like, hey, moving to Thailand's not going to make you happy. And they're the ones that get the most support, and obviously the premise isn't necessarily don't move to Thailand. That's not what it is. There's just something deeper there, and it's looking at some of the negative things about myself, my life, and Thailand as well. And yeah, I think it just strikes a different chord.
Yeah, I think this is something Sam does. Again, Sam does really well. I think one of Sam's core values is honesty and transparency. We talked about this. I did an interview, like a podcast interview with Sam yesterday, and I pointed to him, like that's one of the things that I see he does really well, is being honest, being genuine. And I do think that's really important. Something that we have to deal with, especially here in Thailand, like there's also really strong defamation laws. There's a lot of things we just can't talk about or can't say, and not just Thailand, many countries of the world, you know. You have to be careful and avoid certain things. There is topics and things that I would love to uncover and expose or things like that, but just it's not going to get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Just get you in trouble.
Yeah.
With getting used to talking in front of the camera, do you feel weird when you go back home to your country like Australia and talk in front of the camera due to the difference in culture or people's reaction? So Jared, that's a really, really good question. For me, it was worlds easier when I started in Korea making vlogs, because everyone there saw me talking to a camera and just thought it was cool. People want to like come up and chat to me and what are you doing? I want to take a selfie with you, even though I had like 120 subscribers, like, and it was making horrifically bad videos. But like there, it was cool. And something to keep in mind as well is like, it's never been more normal to talk into a camera or a phone or whatever. Everyone's got TikTok or Instagram or YouTube. People do video calls in public. Years back, 2013, 14, 15, I had a Korean girlfriend, and she used to do video calls all the time. In Australia, no one did video calls. That was like an Asian thing to do. I think COVID changed all of that. But she used to video call me sometimes, and I was like awkward about doing it in public. I didn't mind if I was at home, like it was kind of fun. And I just remember being like, oh God, I'm in public, you know, like do a video call, and I'm like, I'm a white guy, I shouldn't be doing this. But I think through COVID really changed all that, and now video calling is normal. Everybody video calls, right? So it's never been more normal to talk into a phone or a camera or whatever in public. But definitely, being in Asia does make it easier. I made videos back in Australia, but like, no one cares. Is what you need to remember is the people that are going to be walking past you, even if they judge you, they're never going to see you again. They don't. They may look at you and go, "Oh, what a fucking wanker," but that's the extent of it, right? They're getting on with their day, you're getting on with your day. They've got their own world, they've got their own shit going on. They really couldn't care less about you.
Yeah, in the Philippines, I was blown away by how many people would come up, want a picture, sub to your channel, talk to you. Now, I've still got people commenting on my posts and my videos now saying, "Can't wait for your Philippines video to come out, great to meet you." Like, I was blown away, I didn't expect them.
Look at that comment that just came up from Sir William. He's just echoing exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Philippines is hands down the best country in the world to film it. Without question, the best. And that's why everyone goes there.
Yeah.
I've made my favorite videos there. Like, kids just come out, they want to high five you, and they used to do the burger sign and two joints. You know, the kids are amazing. People, you'd be walking down the street, people just throw a basketball at you, like, take a shot. Like, the people are just unbelievably friendly there. It's a great way to get your feet wet.
Yeah, and I'm going back to the UK in a couple of days, and I'm curious to see how it feels to film back in the UK. Like, I know there's videos I want to film, and already there's a bit of me that's thinking,
hold on
I
to your
wonder
camera
what's
tight if you're in
Yeah,
London,
oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Someone's gonna come and steal it. You might get stabbed.
Yeah.
Uh,
Possibility.
Visa question. I don't really want to talk that much about visa stuff, but get a DTV or do a border run every 90 days and travel. If you're coming here to create content or whatever, absolutely get a DTV. If you can, if you're eligible, it's the most incredible visa Thailand has at the moment.
Yeah.
Jamal has signed up to Creator's Edge.
Jamal, legend, welcome.
Good to have you, dude.
As I mentioned earlier, Jamal was a really great contributor in my last. I tried to do a similar thing. I had a Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was it was really inconsistent. There wasn't enough people in there. It would be really active one day and then nothing the next day.
Gotcha.
And then I wasn't at a stage where I was really willing to throw that much time into it. So I go in and sometimes I go in, there's nothing. Other times there was like a whole lot in there.
Yeah.
This one's going to be much more interactive. Jamal, you'll get a lot out of it. So welcome and thank you.
Great to have you, mate.
I'm in Bros, but when I signed up, I was one of the first 20 and it still billed me the full price. No, the full price, and you can correct me on this, it is the discounted rate. It's going to go up.
Yeah.
We're looking after our guys first, and so you got in at the right time.
Correct.
Stefan's in here. He's asked this question a couple of times. Under NADA, NADA.
Oh yes. How long did it take for you guys to get monetized? How long did it take you?
I want to say like maybe 6 months, something like that, maybe a bit longer.
How many videos?
I want to say around.
That's the best metric. Right?
Yeah, I want to say maybe 40 to 50. Yeah, I think so.
So I was probably a similar. I think I got monetized in the first 2 months of me being here. However, I'd had my channel for like 3 years before that, and was nowhere near being eligible to be monetized.
Same.
Yeah. Now, what happened when I came here, I made videos every single day. So I made 40 or 50 videos as well. I just made them in 2 months. And so the time that I got monetized seems really quick, but the work was the same.
Same amount of work.
Same amount of work, just in a much more condensed.
Yeah.
If you had to pick a, if you had to pick a number, how many videos to get monetized? At best case
I'd say
scenario.
at best 50, at least 50.
Right.
So if you're making one video a week, it's going to take you a year.
50 weeks. It's going to take 50 weeks.
Yeah. I made a terrible mistake at the beginning. Well, I just used copyright music because I thought I'm not too worried about the monetization early on. And some of those early videos, that was before I was monetized,
Have now
they're
gone,
long tail views. They're going and going and going and going.
you can never earn a cent off
Never
them.
earn a penny off them.
I messed up. So when I made that first video for the Creator's Edge YouTube channel, I used music that I had the rights to for my Keys One channel, but not for that. And I uploaded it, and it's like, you use copyright music, and I was like, ah, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
and you never know if it's going to cost you in the future. So it's definitely
So
costly.
I accidentally deleted the video because I'm an idiot. So never mind.
Enrique, what's going
Enrique from the Philippines says hello.
on? Legend, the man himself, I think.
Hayden, g'day Hayden, how are you?
I have a question, OnlyPants. I have a question. Is the goal to build the brand in the creator's edge so that you aren't needing to do the YouTube content
As on-air talent.
as on-air talent?
Oh, that's both of you. Say for instance, you were so busy with this project, and you didn't need the money, would you continue to make YouTube content?
I hope I'm making YouTube videos for many, many years to come. I love watching my old videos back. What you'll see, I think the more successful the creator's edge becomes, the less videos that I'll make that are business videos. Like, for example, my tourist decline video that I put out last week or last month. I have no interest in making videos like that, but I know that they're going to do really well. They're going to get me views. They're going to earn me money. I probably earned like $2,000 just from that one video. So those are like business videos. The more successful the creator's edge becomes, I will ideally make less of them. But I hope I'm making my fun videos forever. I like last week, I watched back all my car modification videos just because I wanted to see the whole process, and I loved watching my old videos back. So I hope that continues. I love making videos. I love the entire process. I even love the edit. So I hope that continues. How about yourself?
100%. I love the process of making videos, and from a business perspective, there's something called like a KPI, which is key person of influence. So a business is supported by having an individual or individuals who are popular people behind the brand. So Ronaldo has more followers on social media than all of the top clubs combined, right? Apple had Steve Jobs. Amazon's got Jeff Bezos. Tesla's got Elon Musk. And I'm not saying that's what it's going to be, but what I am saying is that the best brands have a figurehead or figureheads that they are the Eiffel Tower, and the business is the thing that supports that brand.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll always see people like, if you look at maybe influencers or online personalities that have a business, the business always has a far smaller following than the people itself, because no one follows brands, they follow people.
Yeah,
So
right.
yeah,
That makes sense.
that's always the case. So the best way to grow the business is to continue growing our brands.
Well said.
Thank you, mate. Appreciate
DJI or GoPro? DJI, actually, you've got one as well.
it. I have
So
just
does,
bought one.
so does Sam, actually. DJI's up.
Boom, boom.
Give us a look at. Let's take a quick look at Sammy's.
A bit worse for wear.
Smash screen. Can you see that? What is on there, mate?
It was a Thai builder accidentally elbowed it on
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's not even my own
not,
fault.
Not your own fault.
Wow, the look on his face of terror. Was I going to ask him to buy me a new?
Yeah,
Can you imagine how many
Oh.
days? I don't know how much a builder
Guys
gets
working,
paid on John TNT.
guys working for 500 baht a
A
day.
day,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. Right, I'm gonna need like
I said, bro, just forget about it.
10k off you.
I'll just manage.
Yeah.
I think this is a much better camera. This is far superior to the GoPro these days. I prefer the image out of a GoPro, the new GoPros especially. I like the image out of my GoPro 9 more than the image out of this, but the audio out of this is unmatched. The battery life is better. They overheat a little bit less.
And they're fast. They turn on.
Yeah,
You
they're
get
really
that
fast.
shot.
Really
That
fast.
Lamborghini goes past, you can get it.
I just got a new sign up. I just saw the notification on my phone.
Woo!
Thank you,
Good.
whoever that is.
Let's have. Oh. David,
David.
great to have you, mate.
Thank you, David.
Yeah, so I just got a DJI as well. I've done all of my videos on a phone, but I'm so happy I've got the DJI now. I
Game
found that I was making a. Oh, Steve, you legend.
Dear Steve, thank you.
Cheers. I found I was making a terrible mistake where I was thinking, well, I'll get a new phone to make my videos. But then I realized, well, why am I going to spend $1,000 on a phone? Or I can spend $400 on a better camera. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah. I don't know how to read his name. Masters Browse. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that for sure. I apologize. How challenging did you find it to achieve certain YouTube milestones, such as reaching your first 100,000, etc., etc.? So, and have you ever considered giving up? I never considered giving up because if I gave up, I would have had to go back home, and I didn't have anything happening in Australia, so I had to move in with my parents. Great relationship with them, not what I wanted to be doing. So giving up was never an option, never even for a second. Milestones are really hard. It's there's the cliche of, your first 100's the hardest, first 1,000's the hardest, and then it gets easier. But they're cliches for a reason, because it is really true. Getting to 100 subscribers is really tough, because who wants to subscribe to a channel with 30 subscribers? Like, no, I don't. You don't see something come up in your newsfeed that's got 6 views, and you're like, oh, I better check that out.
Yeah.
So like, it's really tough. So especially at the beginning, like, I remember I would refresh in the morning. You refresh the studio, and you have 1 subscriber. You're just like, oh, another one. These milestones, 100's ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Getting to 1,000 takes a long time. I think 5,000 is the next really tough one, because at the beginning people will subscribe to okay, I want to see where this goes. But if you're not going anywhere, they won't continue to subscribe. I sent you, there's a really cool graph that shows what percentage of YouTubers have how many subscribers, and it drops off so significantly. 5,000 subscribers, you're in the top 7% of YouTubers.
Wow.
Mm.
That's a really tough one. And then I think to go from 7 to 10, from 5 to 10, I think it goes from 7 to 3.
Yeah, I think it's like 4%, something like
4%.
that. Yeah.
So the bigger your channel gets at the beginning, firstly, it's really hard to get to 1,000, right? Then to get from 1,000 to 5,000, you need to be getting better. The audience has a higher expectation. Then to get from 5 to 10, same thing. You have to be constantly leveling up. You can't suck anymore. One of my friends, Johnny, there's something happening. I met him. I had 10,000 subscribers. He'd just gone over 50,000. We both went over on the same night. We were drinking together. We were partying.
Nice.
I went over 10. He went over 50 within a couple of minutes of each other. It was
Cool.
a big night. Anyway, I asked him, what was the hardest one for you to get? And it's actually 50 was the hardest. Forgetting, the original ones. Once you talk about getting past 1,000, he's 50 was really hard.
50,000, you mean?
50,000, yeah. And I can relate to this.
To get from, 40 to 50?
Yeah, from 40 to 50, yeah.
Okay.
And I can relate to this because I feel like I was on 40,000 subscribers forever. And I was on 47 forever. And 48 forever. And then 49, it just felt like months. Because you looking for that milestone. Same for me, the 100 came up quicker than I was anticipating. But then now I think I'm 105. Those next 5 flew because I don't care about them. It's the closer you get to those milestones that it seems to slow down.
Yeah. Yeah, I still remember it vividly. There's a point at which, when you're past 25 subs and people start subbing, you're like, oh, okay, this isn't just my friends and family that I've sent my channel to and asked them to sub to. These are real people. Yeah, these are actual human beings that have seen my videos and subbed to my channel. And there's definitely a view to sub conversion rate, which is much lower, like you said, when you have those lower subs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you just don't do it.
Having subscribers is just a form of clickbait.
Yeah.
Right? If people can see, I noticed ever since I got that little tick next to my name, my views have gone up.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Nice.
It's just that little bit of credibility, and people see oh, it's a big channel, or big views. Views are clickbait as well. People say, oh, this video, if you look something up and one video's got 20 views and the other one's got 100,000 views, you're watching the 100,000 views. Sam, do you want to weigh in on this as well? Come on, slide on in.
Yeah.
Scroll down, because Sam will have a bit to offer on this as well.
George, someone's asking, whack your channel in here in the chat. Just a link to your channel, because Hayden from Australia wants to check it out.
Let's check it.
What's the question? What are we talking about?
Milestones. What are the tough? What are the difficult ones? You're at, is it 16K?
Ooh. I feel like my confidence from 10 to 16. Yeah, once I hit 10, I thought, no, I'm in this. I've got skin in the game. I'm in this for real. But in the back of my head, I'm not. I want 30,000. That's for some reason that's the number I'm like.
Oh, 25 was for me.
Really?
Quarter of the way. to
Quarter of the
100.
way, yeah. I remember when I arrived in Thailand, there was a bunch of like mid-tier guys here, all on about 15, 20 or whatever. And so I want to get beyond. I want
It's
to
a
get
tough one. It's a tough one to break through.
Yeah. So I got my head down till I'm at 30 now. Yeah. And then after that.
Then it's 50. Then it's 50.
I guess
yeah.
it is. Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
But as for, no, I feel like it's been steady. The rate of increased viewers and subscribers, it seems, if you keep producing, you keep getting subscribers.
Yeah. I will ask you. So, you had an easier start than most YouTubers. You were on my channel a lot. You had that exposure. You had that trust from the audience already. You had that trust from the audience already. So it was really easy for you to go from 0 to 1, right? To get, I mean, you already had a channel, you already had subscribers, but for you to get to the first, I don't know, maybe 5K or something, was much easier than most.
Absolutely.
But then I imagine once you got over that hump of all the people that were already interested in you from my videos.
Yeah, there's a finite number of people that are going to make the switch over.
Right. Then you have to build your own audience of people that like you.
Yes.
Were you like, oh, this is easy, oh shit, and then you got to like put in a hard slog?
I suspect there was. I can't actually remember that, but that's inevitable. You can't just piggyback off one success. You have to keep evolving, and this is what the Creator's Edge is about. It's about evolution and keeping everyone accountable, right?
Yeah. And that's also what happens with people with blow up videos. People, they get a video that gets like 1 million views and they get this huge spike, and then you fall off the back of that spike, and then you gotta work again.
Yeah, I really like to keep perspective when the views are low as well. There's something about it being YouTube, you get desensitized to the views, right? It's like you might put a video up and maybe it's 1,000 views, right? If 1,000 people were in a room, that's a lot of people. So you get desensitized to these numbers. You know, you have these videos that pop, they get 30, 40, 50,000 views. You know, that's a stadium.
That is a stadium, right?
Yeah.
Of people. Now, admittedly, they haven't had to take the train there and their clothes and take a packed lunch and pay an entry fee. It's easier than going to a stadium to watch a football team, play a match. But it's the same amount of eyes.
Yeah.
Which it just blows my mind.
100%. And that's why YouTube's just so good, right? It's long form, accessible, and just gets you in front of so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's an argument that, everything has its time, and will YouTube disappear? Will something come along and take its place? Google being Google, and, it's unlikely that they'll let that happen, in my uneducated opinion. What are your thoughts for the longevity of YouTube as a relevant platform?
I think, like all things, it's going to evolve. I think we're going to see, as more and more people spend time on here, I think people are going to move from things like Netflix to YouTube. We're going to see more YouTube originals programming. We're probably going to see YouTube funding creators as well, moving into a lot more higher budget streaming type things. So I think that it's just going to be more and more eyeballs and more people spending time on here. I think the key thing is recognizing the trends and positioning yourself in the right way. So AI is going to make it easier for people to create.
Tell us, what is AI going to do to... I really don't know. I don't have my head around this.
So AI is going to make it easy for people to put out 1,000 times more content. So in 5 to 10 years, 90 to 95% of the content on YouTube could be AI generated, which means that there's simply so much more content to consume that the eyeballs are spread so wide. So starting now is a great time to get ahead of it.
Okay, because we're going to be competing with...
Party time.
Do you wanna?
You can
I'd love
definitely...
one, mate, please, that's okay.
Sorry, I just ruined.
No, Julian.
No.
I'd love it, mate. Yes, please.
Well, I'll say
Legend,
hello to
thank
some
you.
people in here just quickly. Freelance Kate, these are long-term supporters of Adam's channel and my channel. Southern Cross Go, JJ Lonely Bull, thank you for your questions. I saw Earth Camper is in here.
There you
OnlyPans, obviously. Anyway, Adam, you can have your hot seat back.
You want out?
Is this for me?
Yeah.
Oh, first beer of the day.
Really? You didn't have one before?
No. I mean, too busy moderating.
Oh, Sam's working on the grind.
Steve makes a great point. The studio is missing a bar fridge, Steve.
Fucking. The only thing I worry about is that I'll just constantly be filling it and emptying it. The emptying it is the concern I have.
The barrier to entry is so low.
It does me good running down the stairs to get some steps in every time. Yeah.
I think because of AI, demand for real creators will be much higher. Yeah, I agree, Ben, 100%.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, that connection is going to be key. You know, when I see an AI video or an AI avatar, I don't feel any form of connection to that
None
person.
whatsoever.
They have no inside experience.
I get pissed. Like, the minute I see this thing, like, there's a movement of people making, like, AI girls, like, sexy AI girls dancing on Instagram and stuff. And they're not real, and it just, like, pisses me off. As soon as, like, one of these things, someone's like, fuck off with your AI, like, fake. The funny ones, like I said, I watched a vlog, it was like a vlog of a guy, it's all made by AI, a guy in the Titanic. He's like, check out this boat, they say it's indestructible. And then, like, it's like, he keeps cutting back in throughout, like, they say there's a chance we might hit an iceberg, and then the thing's going down, and then he's like vlogging from in the water, like, not gonna lie, the water's a little cold, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stuff like that, like, if it's intentional, I think it's great and it's hilarious and I really enjoy it. But there is no human connection there.
Yeah. I think they've said that, like, the fluff, like, let's say we look at the movie space, the fluff, the actors that are around the edges, not the stars, not the Leonardo DiCaprios, you know, Brad Pitt, but everybody else, they might get replaced by AI. This brings the cost down, makes it so much easier.
This is a good one, and you don't have to share this.
Cool.
So it's a money question. I know Sam had under $10,000 when he moved here. I moved here with 10,000 Australian dollars. How much did George have to sustain his journey to move? And it doesn't have to be here when you made the leap to leave.
Yeah, so for me, I've always focused on cash flow and income. You know, I didn't quit the way I was making money to then come here and then sort of say, I've got a pot of money and I'm gonna go all in on this, and then when this runs out, you know, I'm done. The way that I see it is that if I can think in 2-5 year time frames, there's no way I can fail. The only risk of me failing is me stopping. And the only way I'd stop is if I run out of money. So I continued earning money the whole time. And for me, there was no reason that I couldn't make a few videos a week around everything else that I was doing. So for me, you know, I still earn money every single month working online. And what that enables me to do is say, well, I can continue doing this forever. And when this and the Creator's Edge gets to a point where the other things just aren't necessary anymore, then, you know, I'll eventually just make that transition. But that's the way that I see it. If you can think in longer term time frames, it's almost impossible to fail. So yeah, I've got no signs of the pot running out anytime soon. The money's still coming in, and
that's a great thing. When I moved to Korea, like, digital nomad wasn't a thing in 2017. You know, it just wasn't. I think I would have loved that, because that would have helped me tremendously. I went there to figure out what I wanted to do, and you know, I just didn't have that option. And nowadays, it's so much easier. Especially, like, what people often overlook is you don't need to earn a lot, right? You may look at an online job. I used to know someone here that was like a copywriter, and he would just type for a job. His pay was shit. I think it was like $10 an hour, or $7. I think it was like $7 US. And it was like 10 Australian dollars an hour. But when I met him, and he's like, "Yeah, that sounds shit," but it's like, "But I work 5 hours a day, I earn $50 a day, and I make a living from that." Like that, he had like another thing as well, like other little things. But he's like, you would scoff at $50 a day back home in Australia. I just screwed up the maths on that, but you get the point. You don't need to earn as much here to be able to live and live comfortably. So
Yeah.
so jobs that you may overlook because of the money, you can actually reconsider.
Yeah, and a little really does go a long way here. So it's the perfect place to come here, extend your runway, and give you that time to build up your channel. So there's something that I teach inside the Creator's Edge, which is called the Creator's Dilemma, and it's essentially a decision that you make of like, how am I gonna make money being a creator? And there's essentially a continuum between creator and entrepreneur, and how your sort of content creation falls on that continuum. Are you just an out and out creator and you're just sort of creating for the sake of it, or are you going to launch an online business and the YouTube simply feeds the online business? So you know that's the dilemma that people face at the beginning, and you can choose where on that continuum you fall, and depending on where on that continuum you fall, you can then decide your content strategy and monetization strategy based on that, essentially.
Yeah. Steve asked a fun question. If a decentralized pay-per-view competitor to YouTube was ever built, would you migrate? I'm always open to, if it amazes me how long YouTube's been at the top of the game. And now, like, I mean, YouTube being Google, it's really hard to see anyone coming along and beating that, because what companies like Google do is they'll acquire a business. So if something's coming along that looks like it can be a threat, they'll just purchase it.
Soak it up. Yeah.
They'll just buy it and squash it. Casey Neistat, my favorite content creator, one of your favorites, he was starting a social media platform that was kind of going to rival Snapchat, and it just got bought and squashed. They bought the team. They're like, cool, this has potential to make waves, but it's going to disrupt what we have going on over here. And they'll just buy it for what seems like a lot of money to them. So I don't know if a competitor to YouTube, it's not impossible, but I think it's going to be a really tough ask. If something comes up, I'll not necessarily make the jump, but just spread.
Yeah. I think once you get a monopoly, which is essentially like the go-to, it's so hard to knock that off the perch. It has to do something different. Like I just saw the comment there that Rumble's getting really big in the live space. And I think that, Rumble offers something different in terms of the free speech side of things and maybe the live side of things. And Rumble reached out to me to set me up on there as well.
Rumble reached out to me a lot.
Yeah. So they're actively reaching out, trying to get other people over. So there probably will be these like other vertical niche specific platforms that pop up for, specifically passionate audiences. Like there's probably other platforms out there specific to things like anime or something like this. So you might get those other vertical platforms that come out. But yeah, YouTube's just such a monopoly right now. And, if views and things like that is something that you're trying to get to grow your brand, grow your business, monetize, etc., you want to go where there's as many people as possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just typed in like Thailand travel on Rumble, because I believe it was the CEO or like someone very high up at Rumble was actively trying to get me and a couple other people to migrate over and sort of bring, what they're looking at is for you to bring the audience as well. But I look at Thailand travel, and I mean, there's a guy here, he got 34,000 views. The top video is like 93,000, which is more than I would have thought, but the top three of the top four are all the same person, and they're all like a year old. Scroll down and then it goes to like 21 views, 9 views.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
27K, 12 views, 10 views. So I look at that, like when these people reach out to me, I mean, look at this thumbnail. There's a chick with giant fakies and it's only got 1,000 views. Like that thumbnail would kill on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I look at these platforms and I'm like, I don't see it. MSN is one that has been working really hard they're trying to build something at the moment. I've been in contact with them a lot. I don't love their products that they have, but I am, always on the lookout. Because the best thing you can do is be like one of the first in on a new platform that blows up.
Yeah. I suppose there's no harm in just re-uploading to Rumble as well if you've made the video, and if over time it grows and pops, you positioned yourself early and well. I suppose it's just a case of, is the juice worth the squeeze in that sense?
As a new channel starting though, why would you not just post to both channels? Is that about the platforms?
Yeah, say Rumble and YouTube, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, and I think with Rumble it's monetized immediately. I don't think there's a threshold. Might need to check on that.
Nice.
Cool.
Southern Cross Go. Woohoo! I've been waiting all day for 4 subs and just hit 5,000.
Congrats,
Boom.
bro.
Congratulations. That's a bitch of a milestone. 5,000 is a really tough one. And I know what that's like when you're waiting all day for 4 and just waiting for it to click over. I just hope no one unsubs because I had that on one of them. It was a small one, maybe like 3,000 or something. I was like, yay, 3,000, got the screenshot, refreshed, and it was like 2,999. I was like, God damn it. Gotta wait again.
Yeah. You are now in the top 7%, so well done.
Nice. Yes, yeah. Do you think the algorithm is different between short videos and normal videos? In my new videos, most of my shorts have large views, but my normal videos only have minimal views. Yeah, it's a completely different audience. And the thing is, like, people can consume so many more shorts. Shorts take 30 seconds for people to watch. So that the number, like, I can sit down, I mean, I'll go take a shit and watch 100 reels or shorts or whatever, right? Like, you're just scrolling, looking, like, and sometimes just like 3 seconds and onto the next, which is why they don't pay that well. There's many people doing it, so you can get a lot of views, you can also get a lot of subscribers, but really it doesn't do anything for your channel. And what you don't want is subscribers that don't watch your long form content. Long form is what pays the bills, that's what builds the channel, that's what you want to focus on. Shorts, they're good for getting an audience and reaching new people and stuff, but unless they watch, it's pointless having, if you have 10,000 subscribers and only 100 of them watch, like, your channel's going to die.
Yeah.
So it's important to focus on what you want to focus on.
I think there's the thing, like, you know, if you ask someone what's the last short they watched, they wouldn't remember. If you ask them what's the last YouTube video watched, they'd remember. So there's just this connection. There's just this bond that you can form through long form that you just don't get with short form.
How long of a video should you target? Pixar is talking about Rumble and YouTube. What's the ideal long form
I would say, like, look at
length?
this is a really, like, how long is a piece of string answer, but the video should only be as long as the video needs to be. Like, if your video is only 7 minutes long and you want to get it to 8 minutes to get an ad break, too bad it's a 7-minute video. Don't add in a minute of fluff. Same goes the other way. Like, if you can pull bits out that makes the video more interesting, shorten it down. If there's flat points in there or whatever that you can remove. I used to do that. I used to edit my videos back when I was doing daily videos. I would edit it and then I'll go watch it back and I would get, because they were typically, I always wanted over 8 minutes, because after 8 minutes you get the middle ad and that almost like doubles the amount that you earn off the video. So I would edit the video and then it's like 10 minutes long. I'm like, okay, let's go back and watch it. And if there's anything that's not interesting, I'll pull that out, because I only really need it to be 8 minutes and I don't want people to get bored at any stage. Not necessarily the best way, but I mean, it worked. I think look at the successful competitors who are doing something similar to you. Don't look at people in the space. Like, don't just look at how long a Thailand YouTuber's videos, because Paddy Doyle will make one that goes for 30 minutes and I'll make one that goes for 8 minutes. So there's no one size fits all. But is your style more like that, or is your style more like mine, or is your style like a global travel mate who makes a 15-minute video in a 15-minute walk? Look at what people that are doing something similar to you are doing and look what works for them, and then sort of model yourself off that, is my best advice.
Nice.
Question below that one is about he's asking about longer than membership. He's asking about longer than just annual, which is very encouraging.
Sure. So is the membership an annual once-off payment or recurring monthly? Any plans for a lifetime membership option? So at the moment it's monthly or annual. We haven't done a lifetime yet. That might be something to consider. Yeah. No, thanks for the input. Probably best option then, if you're thinking about that, is maybe for the annual, because then at least you're in for the year.
It's cheaper.
Yeah, it's cheaper. You make a saving. But also, you know, we're going to be adding so much every single month to the Creator's Edge. And the prices is going to continue to be increasing. So as more and more people come in, there's more operational debt and burden to give everybody the support that they need. There's more content and creators that are joining the Creator's Edge, helping to deliver that value. That price is going to continually increase, but the price right now is essentially grandfathered in. So everybody who joins now, it's never going to increase, no matter how valuable it gets, no matter how many people
On the
join.
monthly, yeah.
Yeah, on the monthly for sure.
Right, yearly, that's something we haven't discussed. We haven't ironed out yet.
Yeah.
But that may be something that we look at is like, if you do a year and then you renew,
Yeah.
we should reward that.
Yeah.
So that's something, you've given us something to think about. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
As someone winding down their own channel, my advice to YouTubers, you better find a niche and not repeat the same stuff others are doing. This is great advice, because like, and I see this so much here, people come to Thailand to make content, short and long form. People will come here and, especially on short form, they'll do that 1 day in Thailand, 1 week in Thailand, 1 month in Thailand, and they're almost all the same. The 1 month in Thailand, they're a ladyboy. Like, this is not original content. And like, I know for myself, I said, oh, fucking another person's doing this. Another person reviewing a 7-Eleven toasty. Another person doing I ate 7-Eleven for 24 hours. Like, I made that video as well myself. But like, excuse me, find a way to be original, but also you have to be careful, don't go too original. You also need to pay attention to what works and what doesn't. But definitely, like, you know, I'll use myself, it's a terrible example. Don't come here and try and make one of my videos because no one's going to watch that. They're just going to watch someone who does it better. I'll say it about someone else. Don't try and make a Paddy Doyle video because people are just going to watch the Paddy Doyle version. So find a way to be unique and stand out from other people.
Yeah, you got to be the best version of you. I think something that I realized was that as just a generic Thailand YouTuber, I wasn't very good. I had to try and do something else. And yeah, one of the things that I teach in my course is I looked at the different creators' content that I consume, and I thought, well, what would the overlap of all of these creators do? If they all, I overlap their different styles, the information, the knowledge that they shared, what would that look like? And that helped me sort of hone in on my new style, my new identity that I'm going with my channel.
Nice. Mixed by Crash. I jumped in for the annual straight up. I learned so much just finishing Adam's course. Thank you. Congratulations. That's really fast. I've said to people, a couple of people have said already they've completed my course, and that's great. But just make sure you're taking it all in. There's a lot of information in there. Maybe watch it again at some point. Why is my phone running out of battery? That's scary. So yeah, just make sure you've taken it all in, and see if there's anything else that you can pick up, because there's so much information in there and there's a difference. But make sure you like take notes and stuff like that, because it's easy to like watch over it, go cool, yeah, got it. But there'll be so many little nuggets. But yeah, congratulations, you're on the lifetime. So you're on the yearly. So there'll be so much more coming in, and use that community because that's such a great place.
Legend, Andrew. You know, there's something terrifying, which is around 70% of people who invest in a course never even start the course. So, you know, even by just going through that course, you've already separated yourself from the people that never even started. You know, there's like the gym membership analogy. Some people buy a gym membership and pay for a gym membership they never go to because it gives you the feeling that you're sort of working towards your goals, even though, you know, you're not actually doing anything. So congrats on working through that course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the real value is going to come when it's like sharing some of the things you implement, and we can sort of give feedback on that and look at that and work with you on that.
I watched all the tutorials that I could find before coming out here, and I had a really good grasp on like the algorithm and what you need to do and everything. And at the time of me making videos, I'm like, this is the perfect video. And I put it out and I'm like, I've done all the things, you know, I had lists, I had notes, I had books, I've still got them. And I'm just like, I need to have this, this, and this in every video. I need to start the video like this. I had like set systems that I would do. And I remember like early videos, I finished them and I'm like, that's the masterpiece. That is the greatest fucking video ever made. And I watch them now and I'm just like, oh God, like I was way off. The information isn't all that different. Like, I don't know different things now. I don't know like more refined now, but the basic principles are all still the same. I just didn't execute it perfectly. I thought I did at the time, but you're only executing to the skill level that you have. And there's no replacement for just doing it over and over again and refining your skills, and making sure you don't lose track of those fundamentals, because it's so easy to get into a routine and like you lose one thing that you should have been doing in every video, and you stop doing something else and you forget about something else, and then all of a sudden you've lost a lot of those basic fundamentals that you need to have.
And there was a comment in the community yesterday where someone said, "Oh, there's so much to learn." Well, I think that's a great place to be, because I think it only gets scary when you sort of run out of things to learn, run out of things to change. You know, when you've got that sort of pathway ahead of you where there's tons to learn, tons to change that you can do with your content, there's still much more room to grow. Right? And it gets scary. when
I'm
you
still
sort of
learning.
tapped out.
I still watch tutorials all the time. I'm like halfway through a 3-hour color grading tutorial.
Nice.
And I think my color grading is pretty good. I think I have a good understanding of it, but I like to just always be learning new things and new skills. You definitely need character or people won't find you interesting. And you're 100% right. But
Character is something you can work on.
It's
Like a skill set.
character is something that you develop. Go back in my channel, I still have all my vlogs from my first vlogs in Korea, and look how flat I am on camera. This is how you talk, right? If I'm talking to you in a conversation, you'd be like, you don't move your hands, you just sit and talk. Like, oh, today I had lunch at this restaurant, it was really good. That's fucking boring on camera. That's how I started doing it. And if you watch my old videos, I talk like that. I talk kind of quietly and monotone, just like I'm having a conversation. I don't move my hands. I say while I'm thinking about the next thing I'm going to say. And then over time, your character evolves and you get better on camera and you learn how to be like, I just did this and it was amazing. And I'm going to tell you why you need to do the next fucking thing, right? Like, your character is something that evolves and you develop, and it's a skill. And it's acting in a sense, because I'm not like this. If you see me in person, I'm not this animated. No one is, but you have to do that on camera to be interesting.
Amen.
We were watching some of Sam's old videos last night.
Oh
that was
gosh.
fun.
It's so horrendous. And I was proud of him.
Yeah. That's how it goes. Yeah, at the beginning, like you're like, this is a work of art. Come in.
Yeah.
Come in.
The thing that stood out for me, rewatching a couple of old videos, which were, I want to say, 2.5, probably just over 2 years now, is the way in which I speak. And I haven't really actively tried to change. It's just happened naturally from making the videos. The way I speak is completely different.
And I think you learn that in the edit subconsciously.
Subconsciously, you're editing, you hear yourself back, and your brain goes, "Oh, I know what to do better next time." And that just happens every edit.
My speech, like the cadence of my speech and the pace that I speak has changed significantly. It was like it went up and then it went down, and I'm way slower now, and none of it was conscious. I watch an old video and I'm like talking so fast, I'm doing everything so fast. It's like, oh my god, like I had no idea I was doing that at the time, and I had no idea that I was slowing it down to get to where I am now. But that's just how it happened. Repetition.
Someone said, but don't ham it up so much that it's... Yeah, you can increase your energy levels, but you still have to be authentic. You have to be yourself, because people will smell that out straight away.
Yeah. I think there's like that balance, right, between, you're not trying to be fake, you're trying to give as much value as possible to the person that's watching the videos. You're not trying to depict a fake version of yourself. You're to an extent, you're just trying to create something great that people are going to enjoy watching.
Right.
Oh god.
Just checking the battery here, folks. Technology is the bane.
Technologica.
Sam's videos have gotten so much better now.
If this live stream
Sure.
ends suddenly, it's because my phone ran out of battery. Can't see the battery charge things. I don't know if it's charging or not. It's plugged in.
JJ the Lonely Boy in Asia asked, how big a niche is too big and what is too small? For instance, is BGC or Bangkok too small a niche? Is Southeast Asia travel vlogs too big?
Great question.
Good question.
There's a lot in that.
I don't think it's great. Is BGC too small? It's too small if you're making a lot of videos, because eventually you're going to run out of things. If you can find things that interest you that are in a place all the time, and you can share what's interesting about that to you, then that's fine. But I would recommend making it more, if you're using BGC as an example, it's just a very small district. It's not about that, but BGC is a part of that. So it's more about your life in there. But I don't know how much you could film in there. So yeah, that is a good thing. Is it too small of a niche? It's a popular niche. So it's a tricky one to navigate. I think start on something that's interesting, and you can always grow from that. If you get good enough at what you do, people will follow you for whatever you do after that. They'll follow along. I love this guy. He's venturing out of BGC and he's going somewhere else. Like, let's see. I think you need to be the thing is really important. Like, if you're the thing, then it's endless, because people watch you no matter where you are.
Yeah.
Is Southeast Asia too big? Yeah, but maybe. But if people want to watch me, they may not care if I'm in Thailand or if I'm in Vietnam. They just want to watch.
Yeah. So in like the startup space, we would call that like the TAM, so the total addressable market. So how big is the total market that you can sort of speak to with the content that you're creating? And I think a good measure is like, are there videos that are getting lots of views in these places? Because then that will validate to an extent the demand that there is for that type of content or that type of place. And if there are no views, well, you've either found potentially an untapped niche, or the TAM is just too small. The interest isn't there, and that's something to sort of figure out. Whereas, like I said, if it's about you, then if for any reason the location doesn't seem to have a home, you can go to the next place, and you're the continual thread that runs through all of your videos.
So Bailey asked, do you ever create personas of what you wish and aspire to, and then align yourself as much as possible with that vision? I know for myself, I always had a vision, and I just, in a certain sense, at the beginning you're almost playing the role of where you're going to be. Especially when you've got 100 subscribers. You need to make videos as if you have 100,000. You need to have the confidence of someone with 100,000, not 100. So yeah, in a way you do need to do that. You just need to sort of look beyond where you are now and where you want to be and work towards that.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's all people that, we probably all follow different people and respect those people we follow for different reasons, and we admire them in different ways, and we aspire slightly to be like other people in those ways that they represent. And I think that's just sort of like a formative process for us as we change, and I think that's just going to come through in the content that we make.
OnlyPans, said it well. There's a dichotomy with YouTube. You can only make you can make content for your passion to create content, not just for the lure of views. You're 100% right. You also need to balance that with, as I mentioned before, sometimes I make videos that are just for views, and they're the ones that you don't like, but that's like a business decision. So I have for myself, I have a channel strategy for each month. It sort of changes month to month, but at the beginning of the month, I'll sit down and be like, okay, I'm going to do a couple of videos about my car. I'm going to do a couple of videos that are going to get views and subscribers. An example of that is like my weed video. That's not typical for me, but what that does, that reaches a whole new audience that may not have even known about me before. So I do like a weed video every now and then to reach a whole new audience, and I got like a massive whack of subscribers from that video. So I have a bit of a strategy of, this video is for this video is to get new audience, this video is for me, this video is about the car, is for fun, this one's just like a cool Thailand video or a day in the life video that I really enjoy making. And you need to sort of have that strategy every single month.
Yeah.
You need to do videos that are fun too. You need to enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. You told me you got to play the game, right?
Mm.
There is an element we have to play the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I told you, so last month, I think it was mid-month, and I'd only put out one monetized video, and I was looking at how much money I'd earned for the month, and it was only like a couple of $100, and I'm like, oh shit, like I gotta make some money, because I want that AdSense money. So it's like, I've got a list of videos that are in my back pocket that are saved for a rainy day. One of them was that tourism decline video. And it's like, all right, let's pull this one out of the back pocket and see what it offers, and got 300,000 views, and just sorted out the whole rest of the month. But that is very much like, I didn't enjoy making that video. There's nothing creative about it. It's not fun. I have to research. I have to memorize script. None of the stuff I enjoy, but that's a business decision, and I know it's going to pay dividends, and it did.
Yeah. And when you compare maybe making that one video, going around Thailand, talking about this, etc., and the amount of time it took versus the amount of money it generated, some people would work a whole month for that.
Yeah,
It's sort of, it pays off.
it's worth
right?
it. Yeah. No regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets. Someone said, do you regret making any videos? I don't have any videos I wish I didn't make. I don't. Do you, Sam? Do you have any videos you regret making? Only just shit ones,
Yeah,
really.
The one about my breakup with the ex-girlfriend, it's still a feeder video. It's still out there getting views, and it's bringing people to my channel. But I'd said my piece. I was explaining to the viewers what had happened at the time and why we lost the character out of the story. But if I
Just
could pull it
wanted to
down,
end there.
yeah, if I could pull it down now, I would. But it's too beneficial.
Right. Yeah. Do you have any that you wish you didn't make?
You know, not really. I think they're all part of the journey. You know, like I made videos that all the videos I made to try to just get the views generally all tanked. Like trying to find the craziest food to eat in Chinatown, or I searched for the best Mexican restaurant or something, and put all this effort in and planning and thinking they would do well. And I didn't enjoy making them, and they got like 200 views. And that was just a lesson where it was like, oh, that's not who I am. They're not the videos I'm going to make, and I'm going to use that data, that feedback, and the way I'm feeling about those videos
Yeah.
to help me move in the right direction for my channel.
Yeah.
So whilst they were a waste of time, I don't regret them. No.
No, I have no regrets.
I mean, I made a lot of weed videos back in the day, and they did really well. They're some of my best performing videos. And I smoked a lot back then. I don't really smoke so much now. And they still get a lot of views, and I think a lot of people followed me at the time because there was that sort of interest in weed, and maybe that interest hasn't sort of continued in my life. But again, it's not something I regret.
Bailey said Thailand, and especially Bangkok, has so much going on. I'm surprised there's not a trending YouTuber who only goes to major events like sports, races, concerts, fashion shows. That's a great point. Thailand, like Bangkok, is so big, and there's so much going on here. You don't need to make the same content as other people. There are so many unique opportunities here. And this is a thing I see people doing, is they fall into the making the 7-Eleven video or the living in Thailand on $20 a day video. Like, it's been done 1,000 times, and it's not like there's nothing else to do. There is endless content opportunities in Bangkok. Like Sam's a great example of that down in Pattaya. Everyone makes like bar content or girl content or fucking whatever, you know, that shitty content that comes so much from down there. And then Sam's like completely different, jumps on a motorbike and shows you a different part. You know, he's out in rice fields and doing all these different things that are just like, there's so much you just need to think outside of the box.
Yeah, for sure.
Are the weed videos monetized? Nope. No, that's just purely for audience. I only do them to get new subscribers. And they worked. Every time. They're not bad. I don't mind making them. My first one I made was the best. I got high. That was monetized. That was like early days of Thailand weed being legal. I smoked a joint, went and bought weed, rolled a joint, smoked it on camera, got paid for it.
Nice.
Bang.
It was the first video for me that popped off. A weed video.
A weed video?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It's I mean, it's a really trending topic. I don't think it's something you should lean into and do all the time.
Yeah.
But like, great to do, you know, every few months.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially with like how often things are changing out here. I've got another one that like, I mean, they're going to do that medicinal move. It's all just in the final stages at the moment. The day that gets announced, like I'm dropping that video
Smart.
because that'll just
Yeah.
kill. Great launch, first time live viewer. Love the channel and good luck with the new venture. Thank you very much. Guys, we're at 7 o'clock, so we're actually going to wrap up here. Anyone that's in Bangkok, come join us for a beer. Sam's very excited about the beer. We are going to Palette. The information is on my YouTube community tab, or it's not called the community tab anymore. What's it called? Posts?
Posts.
YouTube posts, or on my Instagram. Thank you to everyone that joined. Thank you to anyone that's joined the Creators Edge. If you're interested, just go check out. You can just check out the website. It's pinned at the top here. Really exciting stuff. And if you're in Bangkok, come join us for a beer. We're gonna have some fun.
Definitely.
Thank you. Congratulations, George.
Congrats,
Thank
mate.
you, Sam, as always.
Thank you, man.
Let's go have some fun. Thank you to everyone that came along. Oh fuck, I never remember how to end this. Always.
Stay dangerous.
No shoeies yet.
Cool.
Later on,
Love it.
off camera for sure. Let's go. How the fuck do I end this?